Do you mumble? What the heck is that? Well, stick around, right? And for those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing for over 40 years. I share a lot of what I've learned in my journey on these live calls. I started in this business totally broke, sold a junk truck to get started. And for the last 27 years, next month, I have been full-time in network marketing. It's been awesome. I hope you get some value from this. And I'm going to give some acknowledgments out to those who come out of the woods and say their name and where they're from before we get started. Tonight is Free Friday, so that means you can ask a question and then I'll do my best to give you my answer. So I hope you get a chance to do that. And who's going to come out? Loranda from Canada, nice to see you. Natalia from Russia, good to see you. Good to see you, my Russian friend. And John from Baltimore, you're the first one, man, from America, saying hi. Natalia in Moscow, Russia, yes. Hey, Edward in Jakarta, Indonesia. Good morning in Indonesia. I hope you're having an awesome morning. Tamara in Missouri, nice to see you on the call. And let me see, Kirk Smith in Heat. I tell you what, man, we got more people out of the country than in the country on this call. Good to see you, Kirk from Houston. Eva, nice to see you. I was going to talk about you. I am going to talk to you about your upline problem, okay? Stick around, okay? It's not all that bad. And I'm just looking for, let me see, because I'm going to get, I should have did this before I got on the call. Look for my questions, because it was right in a post, there we go, that I had today. Good. And who else is out there? And Ed, nice to see you from Kansas City. And let's see who else is joining tonight. And then we have, thank you, Natalia. I tell you what, if you're Russian and you understand my English, man, I'm impressed, because I sure wouldn't understand your Russian, that's for sure. And Eva, nice to see you. You can say where you're from too. Stan Comer, nice to see you as well, from Indiana. Good to see you on the call. And man, I'll tell you what, it's this month's almost done. December's here, and then we got 4 more weeks. Remember what I talked about. I'm going to keep repeating this, okay? That's for the people that we're not on those calls. The speed that you end this year with is the speed that you're going to begin the new year. And if we go to sleep this month or this coming month in December, it'll take the whole month of January to wake your people up. We don't want to do that. And Eva says, I'm from Massachusetts. Carmen, nice to see you. George from New York City. Tanya, nice to see you. Hey, yeah. Thank you, Kirk. So again, the speed that you finish this year is the speed you'll begin next year. That's why you cannot afford to go to sleep. You'll spend most of January just waking everybody up, and you've already lost 1 month of the new year. What a shame. So we don't want that to happen, do we? First of all, I'm going to get into I did a post today, as I always do on Fridays, and that is if someone has a question, and why don't you want to work? Facebook sometimes glitches on us. Okay, and feel free, some of you, and George will screenshot your question and send it to me. I'll be glad to take your questions now, because it's Free Friday. Fridays is a great time just to talk about what's on your mind. And what's on your mind, we find these are often common questions throughout many people in this profession. So it's rarely unique, okay? Rarely. So now, and I titled this, Betty, are you here? Betty Ploger. If you are in the room, raise your hand. If you are not in the room, then you're in trouble. That means you're late for class. And when we went to school, we know what late for class means, right? No, Betty, it's okay. So Betty asked the question, and a lot of times what I like to do is take somebody's question and make that the theme for the video or the theme subject, okay? In other words, it's what I consider something that it's something that really needs to be talked about. Of course, all of us does, but I just decided to choose this one. Here's what Betty asked, and Betty is from, I think she's from the big state of, well, I thought she was out there I thought it was Iowa, but who knows? Okay. She's somewhere out there. Anyway, so she says, is it okay to do a Curiosity Live? She means a Facebook Live. Curiosity Facebook Live, and have them reach out to you to find out more? Or is that too salesy? I think it's a great idea, Betty. I mean, for people that cannot contain themselves and they must share their products, they must share their company on their page, they just can't hold it in anymore, okay? And then they get zero results, right? Plus they let the cat out of the bag, told all their warm market what they're doing now. Now nobody's answering their phones or taking their calls or their text messages, right? So that's the reason why we don't do that. We don't post about our products or our company. We want to create mystery. We do want to create curiosity. But at the same time, how can you talk about your products? I'm going to tell you how you can talk about your products. Mumbling. That's how you talk about your products. And if you look for the definition of mumbling, it's to speak quietly. We're going to talk quietly. That's what we're going to do. So that's what we do. We mumble. So this is a great way to attract people to your products and thus your opportunity. That, and matter of fact, I had this, on a recent conversation. I mentioned that the other night. So for those of you that missed it, you'll benefit from that. But here's the thing. I had a guy call me from Chicago, Brian from Chicago, great leader. And he's sort of new to network marketing. So he was just saying, hey, I really would like to get something going, in my area. Now, interesting enough, Brian is a hockey coach. He's a hockey coach. So I think that's pretty cool. I knew when I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, when I was young, I loved hockey. I loved getting out on the ice. But that's what he does every night. So he was saying, what can I do? So I said, well, are there any Facebook groups in Chicago that are focused on hockey, about hockey? And he said, yeah, a lot of them. There's a lot out there. I said, why don't you belong to them? I mean, this is what you love, man. This is your passion, right? He said, yeah, it's my passion. Then what I would do is I would join those groups, start giving value into those groups about what's going on with your game, what happened last night, kid took a hockey stick, busted another kid in the head, just whatever you're going to talk about. or if you want to talk about techniques or something somebody did that was really cool, just anything, a video that you want to share, a picture that you want to share. The point is you're engaging. You're engaging. And that's what you want to do. And then you'll add people to your page. Now, let's just say that on your page, now that you've loaded it with these people, right? Now you decide that you're going to do a Facebook Live. Maybe you're going to get to the ice early. So you're going to get to the stadium earlier where you do your games and all that. You decide just to go live and do a short live, and then just say, hey guys, I'm out here, and in about 45 minutes, we're going to get started on this game. I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, but I get beat up here by these kids all the time. I mean, hitting me with sticks or puck, or somebody slams into me by accident. It happens all the time. I know it happens to you. I found a product that could help me recover from this inflammation and everything I go through. I was looking for something out there and I finally found it. So it's really helped me to get me back so I'm not down so much anymore. So if you haven't found anything like that, just private message me and I'll be glad to share it with you. So anyway, I'm getting ready to do this game here. Well, now it's in 40 minutes and all that. We're going to be playing so-and-so. It's going to be a great night. Now you get what I'm saying here. See, I was mumbling. I mumbled about the product. I never said anything about the name of the product, what the product was, what the company was it network marketing? No, I was mumbling. And that's what you do. And I don't care what your product is. If your product is weight loss, you can mumble. You can mumble. You could be in the kitchen. You're doing a recipe that, is going to help you to not, eat too much fat or gain too many calories. And then you share it. Oh, by the way, you know what? Somebody introduced me to a product the other day, and I started using it, and already my appetite is like gone. I don't have to eat that much. I've never found a product like that. If you haven't found a product like that, just reach out to me. I'll be glad to send you some information. Well, anyway, about this recipe, what I put in this recipe is, you get what I'm saying, and that's mumbling. You're talking about your product. So going back to Betty, and here's the thing, it only becomes salesy is if you're doing it every time you post, and that's what you don't want to do, because then everybody's going to say, hey, wait a second, you're mumbling, I figured it out, okay? And that's what you don't want to do. So if you're going to mumble, and I think you should, I think it's okay to do that, I think it's great to do that, don't do it more than twice a week. Don't do it more than twice a week. And then other than that, you're just giving value. You're creating curiosity about your life. People take an interest in you. You take an interest again in their pages too, because it works. The river's got to flow both ways, okay? If you want to get friends, engagement, and thus you want to get leaders on your team, that's what you have to do, is take an interest in others. But when they take an interest in you, mumbling is pretty powerful. So whatever your product is, just do what I suggested right there. You'll find your own way of speaking about it. Don't talk a long time about it. Again, the whole thing about mumbling is you speak quiet, and it's only just for just not too many words. It's just a little bit. You just give them a little bit, and that's it. And then you go back into what you were talking about. And they're like, what? You're promoting a weight loss, right? Hey man, look at this. This was my size 20 jeans. And now, look at this. I'm in 14, whatever. I finally found something that worked for me. I don't know. If you haven't found anything that works for you, well, then let me know and I'll be glad to send you some information. And oh, by the way, I was out at a yard sale the other day and I found this blender only for $2. Wasn't that amazing? Blah, blah, blah. There you go. Mumbling. It works. So now, let's go to, who was it here? So Eva, I know Eva's hanging out. Eva is up in Massachusetts, and it's nice to see you there tonight. I'm surprised your Wi-Fi works as cold as it is there. Did you ever feel your upline treat you like if you were an employee? How do you respond to that without sounding disrespectful? Thank you. So, again, the question is, did you ever feel like your upline treats you like you're an employee, and how do you respond to that without being disrespectful? Well, first of all, he's already disrespecting you. So I can understand you don't want to return what he's doing to him because you don't want to be that kind of person, right? I get that. But at the same time, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be a stand-up girl on this because you're not respecting yourself. If he doesn't respect you, it's only because you've allowed that. Now it's time to send him a message. And you can do it without telling him to, without using any profanity and getting mad, right? I can tell you right now, I remember this was, how long ago was this? Back in 1993. Back in 1993, I remember when I was doing that with a woman. And what it was, I was ready to take my team at that time in 1993 to another level, right? I mean, we were pushing. We were a new team. And I started telling her what she needed to do, right? Just like an employer does an employee. And I started telling her what to do. And she just stopped me right there. She said, listen, I left my job. I left my boss for this. So I don't need another boss. And you're not going to be my boss. Yeah, I got the message, okay? And I never did that again. I never did that again since 1993. So the thing about it, what you're going to have to understand is he's not respecting you because you're allowing it. What you have to do is you have to just tell him straight. Say, listen, no disrespect to you, but when we signed this application, it said independent distributor, independent. That means you're not my boss. That means this is my business. It's not your business. If it's your business, then you need to be paying me to do what I do. You also need to be paying my rent. You need to be paying for my car because I'm going around meeting people, whatever, I mean, if I'm your employee, and then I need insurance too, by the way. Watch him run when you start saying all that. He won't have any part of that, okay? So just let him know. Say, listen, I came to this business because I didn't want a boss, and you're not going to be my boss. It says we're independent distributors when we sign that application. That's what we are. So what I want you to do is respect me. Can you do that? And if you can't do that, then just tell him to stick it where the sun doesn't shine, okay? That's what I would do if he was my upline. And, but that's just what I would do. Okay? Now, Peter from Denmark, I had to say that. Anyway, see, I mean, I've seen too much of that. And I'll tell you what, there's no excuse for that anymore. See, I understand that decades ago when people were dumb and stupid and they got in this business and they didn't understand that when people volunteer and to go to work so that they can make you money, and they'll do that and for the most part, a lot of them won't even complain. They work really hard and it makes a person money. And then that person will just be critical and do more and do this. And, see, decades ago, I saw that because they just didn't understand this business. We've had a lot of education since that time, so it's inexcusable to hear that anymore, really. Sometimes people just, here's Peter from Denmark. Sometimes people just have fear to start. That is to start the business. They feel comfortable, and from that zone, they always find excuses not to do something. Any suggestions how to stimulate them to get over their fear? Well, Peter's probably asleep right now because it's, I don't know, it's probably after 2 o'clock in the morning in Denmark. So Peter's going to catch the replay on this answer. Well, here's the thing. If they're too fearful to start, maybe we're telling them too much. I'm not saying you're doing that, Peter, but I want you to look into that, okay? Because I find that the reason why when I hear people say, I can't get anybody to sign up, what that generally means is they're talking too much. They're talking the person in and they're talking the person out at the same time, right out of the business, because they don't want to duplicate that. So I would look at, what is your prospecting process? How much time is that taking? What exactly are you saying to them? I want to hear that. I would examine that. I recently had somebody from another country who had that problem, and I said, listen, would you please record what you're saying and send it to me? I need to know what you're saying. This is the reason why videos are so important, because we're not talking, the video's talking. We're not presenting, the video's presenting. So it's done perfectly. It's a perfect presentation. The problem is then people want to explain the video, explain what the person just saw, and then they're talking too much. So again, I'm not saying, Peter, you're doing that. I'm saying that when people are afraid to start and they don't want to come out of their comfort zone and they come up with the excuses, sometimes it's really not them, it's us. We're talking too much. We've made the presentation far too difficult. And so we need to keep it very, very simple. I remember 21 years ago next month when I started, we had an 800 hotline that explained the product. It was a doctor that just did a really down-to-earth explanation of the product. Did a great job, right? And so when I would call the prospect, I would give them the 800 hotline. Now today we use videos, right? Okay. Principles never change, just the tools. Okay. But back then that was the tool, was the 800 hotline. And so you could call that hotline and all it would be a message. And so I'd give them that number. I'd say, hey, I'll call you back in a few hours to talk to you about that message. And when I would call back, sometimes they hadn't called it yet. And then I would simply say, you know what? I love that message so much. I'll just listen to it right now with you. I'll three-way it right in. I'd three-way it right in, then click it off after it was done. And then I would say to the person, now, what did you like best about that? How do you see yourself? As a customer, or can you use some extra money? And the classic response was always, oh yeah, I can use some extra money. I can use some extra. Great. I got an application right in front of me. I'm going to fill out your information, your credit card, and I got a fax machine right behind me. I'm going to fax it right off to the office now, and we're going to run together. We're going to have fun and make some money. Welcome to the team. That was how we did it. We didn't complicate the presentation process. In that case, we let the 800 hotline do the work. In this case, we use the video to do the work. Now, you don't have to use fax machines. It's great. You can be right in front of your computer, iPad, or your smartphone, and or you can send them the link to your page, and that's it. And they're good to go. So I'm just saying, simple. Look at what you're doing there, and take a look at that, because in 90 days, this was next month, 21 years ago, my first 90 days of just doing it that way, we put in 800 people. 800 people. I did not bring over a team. I had to start fresh all over again. Yeah. Did you hear that? Yeah. I'm glad I did it, but man, I'll tell you what, but it works. So here is Judith. And interesting Spanish name, Velaquiz. Hi Jeff, what's your recommendations you would give us to be on track in starting the business again? Okay, when you say starting the business again, and I did send you a message, but you didn't see it. I wanted to know, are you starting in the same company again, or are you starting in a different company again? Again, if you're starting in the same company again, here's the questions that I just want you to think about, okay? Because it sounds like everything went flat on you. If it went flat on you and the team went, they just weren't doing much, why? That's the question. Did you talk to them, and what were some of their responses? Or during the time that they were trying to work it, what were the common objections that came up? That's really most important. So if it was something that required that they go out and do home parties, did some of them complain and say, hey, is this the only way you do it, is home parties? That's a complaint, okay? It sounds like a question, but it's a complaint at the same time. In other words, they don't like doing home parties, okay? Nothing wrong with that if someone wants to do that. I'm saying that person doesn't. And if that's the only choice or the only way to do it, then that's problematic. There has to be alternative ways of doing the business, offline, online. If it's going to be offline and a meeting venue, fine. Then you have a system, a step-by-step, what do you do at a meeting and all that, and the tools to support it. If it's online, then you have to have the tools to support it. But those, so think about that. What were some of the things they objected to, and then ask yourself, how are you going to do it differently? Because the old saying, there used to be a saying that practice makes what? Practice makes perfect. That's what they say. But it's actually perfect practice makes perfect. That's the way to think. Because if you're practicing the wrong thing and you're getting the same results, nothing's going to change. But if you're doing it perfectly, that is the way you should do it, then you're going to get different results. One way to do that is look around to people that are doing well and ask them. Many times they'll tell you, they'll open up and they'll share with you what they're doing. Maybe tools that they're using that you weren't aware of, and it's working for them. So instead of trying to do the same, some people just get this in their head when they're doing something that really doesn't work. They think the solution is do it more. Do it more. I need to work harder. If I work harder, it's going to work. No, it just means we're going to have more of the same negative results. That's all that means. See, but okay, so think about that. And then I think that's it. And then we go to George's screenshots here, and for some of you, and let's see. Oh, we only did one. And if you have a question, you can post it, and hopefully we won't miss that. We won't miss that. Thank you, Sabrina. And this is Kirk Smith. Okay, how about those affiliates who apologize for being in the business? You mean, I see. Very good question, Kirk. So you mean apologize about being in network marketing? You mean those kind of affiliates? So they're apologizing for being in network marketing. Thank you for that. Because people will do that. They'll try to hide what they do, hide what they are, and I don't know. If you got to do that, I would go do something else. That's what I would do. See, I'm very proud that I'm in network marketing. I'm not going to apologize to anybody for it. I'm very proud of this profession. Yeah, I mean, we get attacked, by a lot of people out there. That's true, we do. But that's okay. Usually those were people who were losers. They're the same people that if they wanted to play baseball, they're just mad that the coach cut them because they couldn't hit the ball. They couldn't catch the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. But they want to wear the uniform. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So the thing about it is, when I say, when people, people ask me, what do you do? I'll say, I'm involved in network marketing. Are you familiar with it? And then, a lot of times they're not. A lot of times they're trying to think network marketing. But at the same time, though, I'm not opposed to calling it something else. So I'm not opposed to calling it social networking, because that's exactly what it is today. Because when we look at the evolution of the last 3 or 4 decades now, we went from when I started 40 years ago, and we called it multi-level marketing because we paid compensation on multiple levels of distributors. So we called it multi-level marketing. Now we still get paid on multiple levels of distributors. But now it's also changed to, with the advent of the internet, okay, so then in the late 80s, then it started taking on the name network marketing because of the internet. Isn't it funny how technology dictates the way we do it? And so then now with with the introduction of social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all that, it's more appropriate even to call it social networking. Somebody asks you what you do, social networking. I go, oh, what is that? Oh, I just use social media and I get paid for it. That's all. I mean, you probably use it too, right? Facebook, Instagram. Oh yeah, sure. But you're not getting paid on it, are you? See, that's the difference. So I could show you a way that you could get paid on it if you're interested. I have fun with this stuff. It's just like a hobby to me, these kind of expressions, you know. Anyway, that's what I do in the shower. What can I say? But I'm just saying that when it comes to network marketing, it's the lowest cost way of getting in the business, the least riskiest part, and that the average person can make make really good money. It just depends on the individual. I'm the guy who used to mop floors at night. I'm the guy that used to be the janitor. I did that for about 13 years while I listened to Conant Nightingale cassette tapes. I got involved in personal growth. I started thinking differently, possibility thinking. And so then, and then today, the last 27 years now, I've been full-time in network marketing. And so the thing about it is, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of a lot of people in my organization. I'm proud of other people in other teams. Look at Angel Fletcher. My good friend Angel Fletcher. 6 years ago, she was on food stamps. Today, she's multi-millionaire. Heck yeah. I'm proud of that for her. And I'm proud for a lot of the people in her team that do well. There's a lot of teams that do well in various companies. So we've got nothing to apologize for. We got nothing to apologize for. I had a guy reach out to me and he wanted to bring up something and that was in truth in advertising. You know about truth in advertising? What they're saying about network marketing? Yeah, I said they're left-wing radicals. That's what they are. They don't have anything good to say about network marketing. They don't have anything good to say. They got Donald Trump on the wall of shame on one of their pages, along with some other CEOs of network marketing companies. So obviously they hate our profession. Okay, that's their choice. That's this is the land of the free. You're entitled to opinion, right? But they don't want to just go there. They want to create trouble, and that's what they try to do. And so the thing about it is, what I like to remind these naysayers is that the majority of the people that join a network marketing company join it to use the product. They want to use the product. Somebody introduced them to the product. And then, yes, they might want to share it with someone else, make a little money on the side. And that's why they join. That's the majority of the people. That's when I said that to that one guy who reached out to me, he said, really? I didn't know that. I mean, right, you didn't know that. You weren't interested in knowing that. The only thing you were interested in doing is bashing people who want to be in network marketing. But you're not gonna affect me. It's like rubber bullets bouncing off me. Because I know for a fact it does work. I know for a fact it changes lives. I know for a fact it's been doing that for 4 decades. And yes, people that come in sometimes with the intention of building the business either change their mind, they have unrealistic expectations, they're not a success story. Okay, fine. How many businesses that launch in the United States will be successful 5 years from now or still in business? 20%, 80% will fail. So I guess we should deny anybody who wants to go into business, wants to get a business license. I guess we got to say, no, you can't do that. You can't be in business. You can't have a business. No. Real estate brokers. Do you know that most of the real estate brokers out there, the majority have never even sold their own sold one house? So we're going to say that, or create a law that says you can't be a real estate broker? because too many people fail. Too many people fail. Well, what about the ones that didn't? What about the ones who worked? That's right. So you're going to deny them a future just because some people came in here. They expected it to be easy. They expected it to be something that basically somebody was going to give them something. No, they actually found out they had to work, and it might be hard work, and they decided to just get out and go. Well, there you go. That's right. So there's a reason why a small percentage makes a lot of money in network marketing. That's true. But we have to also understand that the biggest percentage that join network marketing companies never join with the intention of making money. They join because they want to use a product. And yet the naysayers will say, look at that, they're a failure. How they're a failure? They wanted to use a product. I'd say that's a success story. If they like the product, that's great. That's awesome. That's what they wanted. They got what they want. So I'm very proud of the network marketing profession. And I think see, we got to get the mindset for this, okay? The mindset that I'm not going to apologize. And a person's opinion is not going to affect the way I think. Not at all. Because I know the truth. I remember one time, I was in Salt Lake City. I was at a Justin Bieber concert. Did I say that right? I don't follow this guy. Anyway, you can make a comment on him, okay? Anyway, so, but I was with a group, and we had a nice balcony, had our own private room and all that in the concert, in the auditorium right there. We were up above, right? And so I went out and looked and, peeked a little bit, and, then I went back out, got a little bored, and stood outside the door, and this guy comes walking by, and he sees on the marquee the name of our company. He says, what's that? And I said, oh, it's a network marketing company. He said, well, that doesn't work. I said, it doesn't work? He said, yeah, it doesn't work. I tried one of those. It doesn't work. And I said, I think it works. I said, matter of fact, I've been full-time in network marketing now for, I think at that time, I said 25 years. 25 years I've been full-time. And I've done very well. And he looked at me, he said, I can tell you're not lying. I said, no, I'm not lying. And then all of a sudden, he was really interested in what I had to say. He wanted my contact information and all that. It was really funny how it turned around. He could not affect my posture, my mental posture. But I'll tell you, as long as we're apologizing for it, people aren't going to join you. They won't join you if you apologize. Matter of fact, they're looking for people to agree with them. And as long as you have that right posture that, hey, you know what? And I'll listen to anybody. If somebody has a problem with it, I'll say, you got a story. You got a story. Tell me your story. Did you get involved in network marketing? What company was it? How did it go? What happened? Tell me the story. I'm really interested. Now, I'm not going into a fight here. I'm just interested, okay? And I want to, if the person is reasonable, then you can guide their thought processes. But a lot of times when people are apologizing, they're ashamed that they're in network marketing. Most of the people that they're prospecting don't even know anything about it. And, so it's just negative. It's negative. Be proud. Don't ever hide it. I know there are some companies out there and they'll say, we're not in network marketing, but I would not encourage that because that's not being honest. Anytime you get paid on multiple levels of people, if you can get paid on a downline, you call it what you want. That's network marketing. Anyway, I hope everybody have a great evening. I think, unless George, did you send me anything else? Or maybe he did. Oh, George did. Okay, I apologize. Well, we'll make time for this. So with Norma Mayer, George is saying that Norma Mayer says, how do you duplicate properly? Well, not to do a training on duplication, okay? Here's the thing about duplication. We're only talking about a few steps. When you talk about a duplication, you can only duplicate just a few steps. And that's all you need to teach a person when they come in the business. They don't need to know the compensation plan. They don't need to know it. The only thing that they need to know is, what do I got to do to make some money? Show me what I got to do maybe to earn, $300, $400, $500 a month. What have I got to do? That's all they want to know. They don't want to do a presentation. They just want to know how to do that. And then it's very simple. Then what we have to do is, and again, I call it like baseball, right? First base is what? The invite. The invite. You got to show them how to do an invite. Second, the presentation. That can be done by a video. But if you have a meeting that you go to, fine, take the person to the meeting. Third, so what do you like best about what you saw tonight? Or what do you like best about the video? And then you answer any questions that they have, and then bring them home. Sign them up. You should have a video on that. If you want to create proper duplication, have a video that's only a few minutes long that explains that. And their first 90 days, that's basically all they need to see, and that's all they need to know. They don't need to know. Don't get them on all these special trainings. Don't get them on your upline who's going to try to, impress everybody with his or her knowledge about the industry and the profession and you want them focused on those activity steps. And then you can run with them and make sure they make that prospect list. That's part of duplication, right? Those are very fundamental things we do. You want to tap into their warm market. Don't post on your Facebook page about your company or products. Train them. Say, we'll get that. We'll get to that later. Use Facebook like the way you used it before you joined the company, okay? But just don't post about the products. We want to keep it secret because we don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Let your warm market know. We need that element of surprise so that they're not prejudiced when we reach out to them about your product and your company. And then and so we got another from, or was that? Oh yeah. So Flavio asks how you doing, Flavio? Asks a question: how to do a digital plan in network marketing and start with a Facebook Live. Okay, so my mind went blank when you said do a digital plan. I don't know what a digital plan is. A digital plan, okay, that starts with a Facebook Live. Okay, I tell you what, and if anybody understands that question, that's okay. That might be just that I'm a baby boomer generational. What can I say? That's the generation I'm from. So maybe that's a language I don't understand. But you have to qualify that question later on. And then Tamara from Missouri says, hi, Jeff, still trying to build a team after 2.5 years. Let me see. Let's get that. Okay. After 2.5 years, I know I just need to keep going, but I so want a team of many. Did you build quickly, or did it take you years? Well, I just said earlier, just now, that my first 90 days, I started with new people, that is some new leaders, a handful. And with that handful, we had 800 people in 90 days. So if you call 800 people a big team, I guess my first 90 days, I had a big team. As a matter of fact, it's in my book, Reaching the Peak. So it's on Amazon, Reaching the Peak. That's the backwards version. And so, thank you, Pam. And in this book, I explain the 90-day plan. That's what it says there. It says it includes the amazing 90-day quick climb plan. You can do a 90-day plan anytime. You got January, it's going to be coming up. You could bust it out January, February, March. Just go all out, lose your mind, just push, go, and just have fun. And that's what I did. I said I went from 8 to faint during that period of time. I never left my driveway, but after the end of 90 days, I had had 800 people, 800 new people in my organization. So, 8 to faint. 8 to faint means 8 in the morning till I faint, okay? So, all right, good, Rick. I hope you enjoy that book. No, it's not on Audible yet. We will be coming out with it on Audible. We will. Right now, we got it coming out in Spanish. hopefully in January. But that's the thing that you know. Here's the thing. This is the reason why I just never, you know, in all my years of networking, I just didn't believe in building slow. You know, slow is torment. Slow and steady is not the way to do it. The way you do it is like in the book I talk about it, and I go into detail, you know, about a 90-day plan, how to do it, and how to identify serious people in your team. It's very important that you get them on board with what you want to do. It's see, that's the important thing. It's not just that you need to do the 90-day plan. Your leaders need to do the 90-day plan. If it's one doing it, that's one thing. If you got 10 people on the same team doing it, that is something else. You will see an impact, you know, by doing a 90-day run in the business. The important thing is that they're going to see benefits the first 30 days. And that's what you want to show. That first 30 days, that keeps them around for the next 30. Then after they get benefits from the next 30, they go another 30. But, you know, you're not going to repeat it. Not very few ever do. After that, they're going to slow down. I didn't. I mean, after 90 days, I was burned out. I was burned out. But guess what? You know, what's cool is that I'm still, you know, running from, I'm still gliding from the momentum of what happened 21 years ago, that first 90 days. I still got the wind underneath my wings. I do, just from that 90 day. Because after that 90 day, I was like, wow, man, I'm so brain dead. Well, I'm gonna work it at my pace now. And that's what I did. I worked it at my pace. But that's the thing about 90 days. Again, I liken it to the shuttle. It takes all that 90% of that fuel to get that shuttle off the pad, you know, to escape gravity. And then after that, it takes very little fuel to run it. And that's the way it is with your business. That's why running, you know, just running is, and again, we're talking about, it's not just running, but, you know, what part of that is a sense of urgency when you talk to people. Most networkers, when they present, do not have a sense of urgency. I always had a sense of urgency because I was broke. But it's never changed. You know, I would still have a sense of urgency. I teach leaders, have a sense of urgency. There's no urgency in your message. Your company sounds like it'll be just as good a year from now as it is from today. So if that's the way it is, then they're not going to do much. So Emma, I don't know where she's from. What do you say when they tell you it is a pyramid? Well, I love that. Of course, what I don't like to do is, you can have a lot of fun with that. I can remember years ago when somebody would say that, is it a pyramid? My answer was, would you like it if it was? And if they go, no, I wouldn't. I said, well, then you're going to like what I have to say. It's not. If they say, and if they understand network marketing, and they say, yeah, I would like it. I said, well, then you're going to like what I got to say, because it is. It sort of sounds like a contradiction. When I say it's not in the sense that it's not a illegal pyramid scheme. It's not. Okay? And when I say you're going to like, when I say you're going to like it because it is what it is. And it's not the other. So, but anyway, I have fun with that. Sometimes when somebody says, is it a pyramid? Would you like it if it was? Just to get a reaction. But now I'll tell you the best way to handle that. And some people will get in there. Well, are you in a company? Are you in corporate America? Don't you know corporate America is a pyramid? Don't you know the United States government's a pyramid? Have you looked on the back of the $1 bill and seen the pyramid? Sure, it's there. Okay, what's the point of doing all that? I don't want to. That we become defensive when we do that. That's what I don't recommend. Okay, here's what I recommend: the Forrest Gump approach. And if you ever seen Forrest Gump, you know, and I just do the Forrest Gump approach. They say, is it a pyramid? Well, what do you mean by a pyramid? And then I'm going to let them struggle with it, okay? I'm not struggling with it. And I'll help them in their struggle when they're trying to say, well, and they're going on. And I said, oh, you mean, is it like a Ponzi scheme, a money game? You mean like that? Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. No, not at all. No, not at all. We give a product and a service in exchange for money, just like they do at Walmart, right? You go in there, they got a product that you want, right? Right. So, and they got people that'll help you there and all that. So they give a service in exchange for money. Isn't that the very definition of a legitimate business? Yeah. Well, that's what we do. That's what we are. That's it. That's all you're getting out of me on the pyramid thing. And see, you're not arguing, you're not defensive, you're helping them with the process, trying to be reasonable and understand what we do. Because that is what we do. That's exactly what we do. And then Elsa from Peru, she says, what is the phrase to use while prospecting a cold market? Okay, so she's saying, what do you got to say to somebody to that you don't know to get them interested in what you're doing? Okay, some call it a cold market. First of all, get rid of the cold. Okay, hey, it's cold outside right now. Okay, anyway, get rid of. Stop. Today we used to call it cold market, and then now we call it social networking. People that we don't know, we reach out to people all the time in Facebook. You don't even know them. You look interesting, you reach out, send them a friend request. Okay, now that definition would call that cold marketing. Now we understand it's just social networking. That's all it is. So here's what you want to do with that, Elsa, is just have the mindset that you have what they've been looking for all their life, and you've been blessed to be the messenger to give it to them. In other words, people struggle with problems, and they're looking for solutions to their problems. You have what they've been looking for all their life, and you've been blessed to give it to them. And how can I say that? I can say that without hypocrisy, because network marketing was what I was looking for. And I struggled and struggled and struggled, for many years. So the thing about it is, it was a blessing when it came my way. So when you have that attitude, important to have the attitude first, the mindset first, and then all you got to do is just see if they're open. Say, hey, you look like a person that would be open to opportunity. Do you look for different ways to make money? That's one way to do it. I've done third-party questions. I remember I used to do this 2-3 decades ago. Going through a grocery store, standing in line while they're, just scanning the food items and putting it in a bag. And then I look at the bagger, and if he looks like somebody, I'll look at him and say, hey, does that look like somebody might be looking for something? We don't judge people, but I'd say to him, hey, I'm sort of new in town here. Yeah, I'm getting my business going. How long you worked here at the store? Oh, I've been here for, a while, a few years. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm getting my business going here. Just looking for some, somebody who wants to make some extra money part-time. You don't know anybody that can use an extra $1,000 a month, do you? Third party question, right? I'm not asking him if he's interested. I said, you don't know anybody that can use an extra $1,000 a month, do you? Yeah, me. Oh, really? You? Oh, okay, awesome. Well, give me your phone number, and then I'll give you a call, and we'll get together, have some coffee, and talk about it. There's different ways that you can approach them, Elsa. And again, I challenged all of you this week that when you're in line, if you're shopping this weekend or wherever you go, Starbucks, you're shopping and all that, when you're standing in line, don't look at your phone, talk to the person next to you, and then find a way to compliment them. This is one way you can do that, Elsa. Compliment the stranger. You women are good at complimenting each other on your shoes or the bag. Oh, that's a nice looking bag, or nice looking hat, whatever. You're better at it than we are. And but compliment the person next to you, and then after you've engaged in that short conversation, it's not going to last too long, and then just ask them the question. Say, hey, are you in Facebook? Oh, you are? Hey, can we add one another now? Because I'd love to stay in touch with you. I really enjoyed this conversation. I don't know if I'll ever see you again. See, it works. And that's how I handle that. There's so many creative ways that you can do that. And then, George, you just sent me something here. And what did you send? And that is here. And that is Monty Knight asks, Monty, hey, Monty, what's up? What to do to say back to people that ask, what do you do for a living? Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. I love that question. And I don't care whether you make a lot of money in network marketing or if you make a little. It doesn't matter. The answer's the same. So I don't want somebody thinking, oh, you got to be a top earner, make a lot of money before you can ever do that. No, you don't. I don't care whether you're making 300 a month, 500 a month, 5,000, 50,000. I don't care. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. When somebody asks, what do I do for a living? I've done this in lounges when I sit and watch a ball game with a group of men, or if I'm even getting a massage. I'll give you the one where I'm getting a massage. Okay, so here I am. I remember when I was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I was going to get a massage. And so I go in there, and you're supposed to shut up, right? And just relax and just sort of like be half asleep and feel good the whole time. De-stress, right? No, no, I'm going to talk. Okay, so she asked me, well, what do you do for a living? And my answer was, that's a really good question. I was introduced to a product. Well, no, let me qualify that. I said to her, I actually found a way to be job-free and live off residual income. Now, when I said that, I found a way to be job-free and live off residual income. Now, not everybody in network marketing is job-free yet. I agree. You can phrase it differently. You could say, that's an interesting question because I found a way just not so long ago to earn and create residual income. So I'm really looking forward to being job-free soon. It's going very well for me. And then you can go right into it. So wherever you are in network marketing, whether it's a lot or a little, doesn't matter. But I said I found a way, to live off residual income, and I don't need a job. And she said, really? How is that? I said, well, I was introduced to a product. And so I used the product, liked the product, and I found out that if I enrolled, that I could buy it at wholesale instead of pay retail. Well, that made sense to me. And then I found out, they told me if I introduce it to some people, then I'll get paid on their orders, and it'll, in the beginning, equal out what I'm paying out for mine, so my products are free. That made sense. And then, but the thing is, it kept growing, and so anybody they introduced it to, I got paid on those people as well. And before I knew it, I was making some very good residual income. And you know what? For the last 26 years, I haven't needed a job. Now, I didn't say anything about network marketing. I didn't say anything specifically about my product. I didn't say anything about the company. I didn't say anything about the compensation plan. And I didn't make any income claims, and I didn't quote my upline's checks to try to motivate them to be interested. I just got her to buy into the concept of residual income. And I can joke and say, you know what, I can't sing, so I know Garth Brooks, he makes a lot of residual income from his songs and all that, and he will the rest of his life, but I couldn't sing, and I'm not a movie star, so I won't make residuals from my movies, but you know what? I can make residuals when I introduce this product to other people, and I can get paid on it for a lifetime. Again, friends, that's why we're not going to apologize for this. The concept is too beautiful. And the only people that don't get it and the only people that oppose it are the people that want to enslave you to think that you need government to give you a handout, socialism. So you don't need that. What you need is financial freedom, and you can get that by working hard, creating residual income, and there's nothing like it. And I think that was you're welcome, Pam. And unless George sent me something, you never know about George. Oh, George, he stopped. Okay, so everyone, it's been fun. Friday, so have a wonderful Saturday. Tomorrow, I'll send out some. I'll post something on my page. You know, something you can read, benefit from. Thanks again for getting on tonight. For those of you in Asia, have a wonderful day. For those of you here in the United States, in North South America, have a wonderful evening with your families, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.